morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Omar Ali. I'm a member of the Board of Directors of the Committee for a Unified Independent Party, QUIP, also known as independentvoting.org. Welcome to our national conference. Whether you flew 3,000 miles from the West Coast or took the A train from Brooklyn, we have gathered here for a common purpose: to develop our movement, sharpen our message, and focus on our mission. I want to welcome our C-SPAN audience today, as well as the bloggers who have joined us. If you're tweeting the conference, you can use the hashtag Indy4Reform. I'm an associate professor of history at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and as you saw in the CNN clip, I serve as a spokesperson for independentvoting.org. And it's my job to shine a spotlight on the partisan inequities in our political system. We are a movement of activists, of fighters, of outspoken independents who believe deeply in the cause of political reform. We are well known for grabbing the bull by the horns and confronting partisanship wherever we find it. And we find it in a lot of places. Michael Lewis, the founder and chairman of Independent Kentucky, came face to face with it when he led an effort in the state legislature last year to open Kentucky's closed primaries to independent voters.
Lewis is only partly kidding about a fight. He wants to overturn the state's closed primary system, a system that excludes tens of thousands of independent voters from primaries. And he knows he's about to hit a nerve.
What you're saying is, I don't like the way America runs its political system. Well, if you don't like it, move to another country.
You won't be surprised to hear that he hasn't moved to another country. He's staying right here. He's staying right here, and he's fighting to make this one better and more democratic. Please welcome founder and chairman of Independent Kentucky, Michael Lewis.
Thanks, Omar. And welcome all of you. It's great to be here. You know, it's wonderful spending the day together with fellow independents, and the CNN piece that you had just saw was the story of our fight last year in the legislative session. This year, we have a new open primary bill, and I'll have you know that last week it passed out of committee, and just Thursday, it was passed out of the Senate again. Thank you. I have no doubt we'll be going another 12 rounds on this one as well. For those of you who are new to independent politics and are here learning about the process we need to reform our political system, let me say one word why open primaries and nonpartisan elections are so important. It's very simple, really. 38% of the electorate are independents, but in many states, as in Kentucky, we're not allowed to vote in those primaries, you know, where the outcome of those elections are often decided. That needs to change. And independentvoting.org is leading that effort all across the country. I'm also really happy to say that, you know, we've brought a half dozen members of Independent Kentucky here today, so a special thank you to everybody from the Bluegrass State. I've been active in the independent movement for over 3 years now, and during that time, I've learned how to communicate, I've learned how to reach out and how to build. It's often said that we stand on the shoulders of those who come before us, who broke ground, who lit the path, who took the risk and set the stage for everything that's come next. We have one of those such persons here today. She was the first African American and first woman in the history of our country to be on the presidential ballot in all 50 states. She's an educator, a psychologist and a founder and popular initiative youth development program, the All Stars Project. And she's gone more than a few rounds herself. And she's making the case for nonpartisan elections in New York City.
One thing you've been working towards is trying to see how independent registered voters who are registered independents will be able to vote in party primaries. It's usually not allowed in states. How do you hope to turn that around in order to more empower people?
My goal as one of the founders of the Independence Party is to pass over the next 12 months nonpartisan election reform in New York City, which does away with party primaries and allows the 1 million voters in the city who are registered as independents to be able to vote in a first round, and that would take care of it. The majority.
This happens in a lot of different states, but why do you think you'll be able to come close to achieving that? That's a tough barrier that you have to get across.
Most of the cities in this country have nonpartisan elections, and the majority of those young people locked out independents are people of color. 20% African American, 11% Asian, 24% Latino, and 25% under the ages of 30. What our young people are saying to us is, we don't want to be in a party, we are independents, and we want to do politics in a new way, and we have to support that effort, and that's what we're fighting for here in New York City.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Lenora Fulani.
Good morning, and thank you. I want to thank Omar and thank you, Michael. Michael, I want to let you know, when I ran for president in 1988, I visited 47 states, and one of my most favorite was Kentucky. Not only was it beautiful, but I remember meeting so many fair-minded and decent people who made me feel at home and encouraged me in my campaign, and you are a most eloquent spokesperson for them. In the room this morning are two people who I want to give a special greeting to. These are two dynamic organizers who head up our national organizing team, and without whom this conference and so much else would not be possible. Nancy Ross and Gwen Mandel. In 1994, I had the privilege of co-founding this organization with a dear friend and colleague. She's been an outspoken advocate for independent voters and for the kinds of changes in the political process that end the tyranny of old ideas and old institutions. She was the founder of the first magazine created to cover the independent movement, the Neo Independent. She hosts regular teleconference forums with 150 independents nationwide, the largest ongoing gathering of independents in this country. Together with political strategist Fred Newman, she created Talk Talk, their commentary on how the political pundits discuss world events. She managed Michael Bloomberg's winning campaigns on the Independence Party line in the 2001, 2005, and 2009 New York City mayoral elections. She was the deputy campaign manager for my 2 presidential runs, and she and I have spent decades together working to develop a Black and independent political alliance. She is my friend, my advisor, my go-to gal on all things political, and my very dear sister. Please welcome, to present her report to the conference, the president of IndependentVoting.org, Jackie Saley.